What an embarrassment. What an absolute embarrassment. Last night was further proof as to why people don't watch pretend basketball. Last night was further proof as to why people do not respect the WNBA.
You know that moment when your own teammate just can't take watching you play anymore. That's exactly what unfolded for Angel Reese during the Chicago Sky's brutal loss to the New York Liberty. While Reese struggled, missing layup after layup, cameras caught Kamilla Cardoso subtly but unmistakably distancing herself from the team every time Reese had the ball. Her body language was telling and painful to watch. And yes, it's all caught on camera. Is this the breaking point for Reese and the Sky? Tell us in the comments, do you think the team should trade Angel Reese? Let's face it, the Chicago Sky are already falling apart from within. Just 2 games into the season, fans have begun to turn on the team, and the social media battle cry is clear. Free Kamilla Cardoso. She looks done with this whole Chicago Sky experiment. Tyler March, salute to you because it looks like you're unintentionally helping every other team in the league. The Sky just made WNBA history, and unfortunately, it's not the kind of milestone any franchise wants to be remembered for. Through their first 2 games of the season, the Sky have posted a staggering minus 60-point differential. That number doesn't just sound bad, it's historically disastrous. In WNBA terms, this level of failure is almost unheard of. No team in league history has opened a season this poorly. We're talking about a franchise that went from having playoff dreams to becoming a league-wide embarrassment in just 48 minutes of basketball. Angel Reese had the worst performance of her professional career, and that's not an exaggeration. I'm not trying to be dramatic or overly harsh. She was simply awful. Reese went 0 for 8 from the field. Sure, she grabbed 12 rebounds, 8 of which were offensive, but that doesn't come close to covering up the offensive disaster she put on display. A minus 60-point differential means your team is getting blown out by an average of 30 points per game. In a league where most games are decided by just a few points, the Sky are losing in a way that makes you wonder whether they even belong in the same league as their opponents. Other historically bad WNBA starts don't even come close to matching the level of disaster Chicago is dealing with right now. Previously, the worst 2-game start was around a minus 40-point differential. That makes the Sky's situation 20 points worse than the worst case we've ever seen. Chicago Sky fans are officially fed up. They're calling out Tyler Marsh, and you can't blame them. Let's start with this. The worst plus-minus rating in the entire WNBA, yep, it belongs to Angel Reese. And 9 out of the bottom 14 players in the league by plus-minus also Sky players. How is Angel Reese, who is somehow being run as a point forward, putting up 5 turnovers and 0 assists? I don't see Tyler Marsh winning Coach of the Year anytime soon. The Liberty game told us everything we need to know about how far the Sky have fallen. New York walked into Wintrust Arena and absolutely obliterated the home team, 99-74. But here's the kicker. The Liberty didn't just beat the Sky, they set their own franchise record in the process. They nailed 19 three-pointers, a regular season WNBA record. They were on fire from beyond the arc, while the Sky couldn't buy a bucket. Chicago shot just 36.2% from the field while getting torched from deep. It was a beatdown from start to finish, and I thought Angel Reese said she was dedicating this season to winning. I thought she was locked in, ready to carry the Chicago bravado all the way to some metaphorical promised land filled with golden toilets and luxurious locker rooms. Remember that preseason video? Hey y'all, it's me, Angel Reese. I'm dedicating this season to victory. Well, I'm struggling to understand what winning she's talking about, because right now, 2 games in, this Chicago team is getting demolished by an average of 30 points. They're not just losing, they're getting embarrassed. None of this was supposed to happen. The Sky came into the season with real playoff aspirations. After trading for Ariel Atkins in the offseason, the blueprint seemed simple. Combine Atkins' shooting ability with Reese's rebounding and toughness. Build a team that could make a real playoff push. Instead, what they've created is a situation so dysfunctional that fans are calling for major changes just 2 games into the season. The gap between what was promised and what's being delivered couldn't be more glaring. The Sky's minus 60-point differential through 2 games is officially the worst start in WNBA history. That's how bad this is. And of course, last night, we witnessed something that could easily go down as the most embarrassing sequence in WNBA footage ever. The stat-padding queen herself, Angel Reese, got blocked repeatedly by Jonquel Jones, who absolutely dominated her in the paint. Sure, Reese kept grabbing offensive rebounds, but it didn't matter. Jones was right there to stuff her every time. This might be the most embarrassing WNBA clip of all time. Unfortunately for Reese, there are already multiple moments in her career that could make that claim. The numbers don't lie, and they paint the picture of a team and a star that is fundamentally broken. When you're shooting this poorly and giving up record-setting performances to your opponents, It's not just a slump, it's a full-blown meltdown. Everyone can see the offensive problems, but the defensive lapses are just as alarming. Teams that look this lost, this early, usually collapse from the inside, and that's exactly what appears to be happening in Chicago. When your teammates see you miss shot after shot while the opposing team celebrates highlight reel performances, the resentment starts to bubble. The Liberty game cameras captured every ounce of that tension. And yes, we'll get to Kamilla Cardoso's visible frustration in a moment, but let's first break down just how bad Angel Reese really was. Against the Liberty, Reese turned in one of the worst performances of her professional career. She went scoreless from the field, missing all 8 of her shots. But that stat is just the tip of the iceberg. Over her first 2 games, she's shooting an atrocious .542 from the field. That's a shooting percentage that wouldn't fly in high school basketball. These weren't tough shots either. These were point-blank misses, layups, things any pro forward should be converting at a high rate. If you're still wondering why the WNBA struggles to gain mainstream attention, just watch these clips. In the NBA, missed layups are the exception. In this game, they felt like the norm. Reese played 27 minutes, collected 12 rebounds, 8 offensive, and still finished with just 2 points. And now we get to the real jaw-dropper. Reese's shooting around the basket has been abysmal. She's converted just 4 of her 17 shots taken from within 5 feet. That's a 23.5% success rate on layups. That means she's missing 3 out of every 4 shots taken right under the rim. Liberty fans watched her botch layup after layup in disbelief. Her own teammates couldn't hide their frustration from the bench. This is part of the narrative. We're all supposed to buy that Angel Reese is a superstar, Caitlin Clark's rival, the future face of the league. But the numbers and the eye test don't lie. She's being protected by media narratives and fans clinging to a myth. You'd need to be part of some basketball cult to still believe she's an elite WNBA player right now. Then there's the turnover issue. Reese is currently leading the league with 10 turnovers after just 2 games. Every time she touches the ball, there's a legitimate risk. It's going straight to the other team. And these aren't aggressive, higher-risk passes, they're careless fumbles, bad decisions, and mental lapses. Her teammates are watching possessions go up in smoke because their so-called star can't secure the ball. Compare Reese's offensive efficiency to other forwards across the WNBA, and it becomes even clearer. Most starting forwards in the league shoot around 45%. Reese is barely hitting 22.7%. That isn't just subpar, it's a massive failure relative to expectations. Her role, her usage, her minutes, they all demand far more than what she's delivering. Then came the viral moment that sent social media into a frenzy. Angel Reese missed not 1, not 2, but multiple layups on the same possession, grabbing her own offensive rebounds each time. One fan tweeted, "Is this real or looped somehow?" That clip went everywhere. It looked so bad that many accused her of stat padding, chasing rebounds instead of just making the shot. That's the perception now. Yes, Reese can rebound. Yes, she has charisma. And yes, she's leaned into trolling Caitlin Clark as her path to relevance. But all of this is self-inflicted. This pressure, this scrutiny, she brought it on herself by creating tension, calling attention, and failing to deliver on the court. Now, she's left facing the music. Her offensive struggles are fracturing the team's chemistry. When your star can't finish easy buckets and continues to dominate possessions with empty results, the rest of the squad starts checking out. You can see it, the frustration on the bench, the head shaking, the eye rolls. It all came to a head with Kamilla Cardoso during that Liberty game. If anyone has a right to be furious on this team, it's Cardoso. She should be the one throwing the temper tantrums, and quite frankly, she almost did. Just watch the tape. Her frustration is written all over her face. Asterisk face. Asterisk.